Did you know there's an island on Earth that's both a city and an entire country? Also, there's a mysterious sea in the Atlantic Ocean which has no shores at all? Here's another twist. There's a country that's completely surrounded by another country. Pretty wild, right? And believe it or not, there's even a country which is smaller than New York's Central Park. Stick to the end as we explore some unbelievable geographical facts that almost seem too strange to be true. And while we're here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a chance to level up your knowledge. Let's get started. The Vatican City is its own country. Yep, Vatican City isn't just a part of Rome, it's an independent country. It's actually the smallest country in the world, both in area and population, with just about 800 people and covering a mere 0.2 square miles. Mount Chimborazo is the closest point to space. Most people think Mount Everest is the farthest point from the center of the Earth. But thanks to the Earth's bulge at the equator, Ecuador's Mount Chimborazo actually holds that title, reaching closer to space than any other mountain on Earth. The world's longest coastline belongs to Canada. Think about all the island countries out there, Australia, Japan, Indonesia, but none of them come close to Canada. Thanks to its sprawling landmass and countless lakes, Canada has the world's longest coastline, stretching over 125,000 miles. Africa and South America are still moving apart. Continents don't just sit there, they're constantly moving. Africa and South America drift farther apart each year by a few centimeters due to tectonic plate movement. So, if you're planning a trip between the two, the flight might be a few inches longer each time. The Pacific Ocean is shrinking. The Atlantic Ocean is getting bigger each year, while the Pacific Ocean is actually shrinking. No thanks to tectonic plate movements and the Earth's oceanic crust becoming thinner and weaker, it's losing about an inch every year. Poland has a desert. Poland, a country known for its lush forests and snowy winters, has its own desert, the Błędów Desert. It's the only true desert in Central Europe, and it covers an area of around 12 square miles. There are only 2 countries without mosquitoes. If you can't stand mosquitoes, move to Iceland or Antarctica. These are the only places where mosquitoes just don't survive due to extreme climates, too cold for them to breed or survive. Norway has a law that gives people free access to nature. Norway has something called allemannsrett, or freedom to roam. This means you're allowed to hike, camp, and explore pretty much anywhere, even private land. Just make sure you leave it how you found it. The Amazon River flows backward at times. Believe it or not, there are times when the Amazon River actually flows backward. During the rainy season, the Atlantic Ocean's high tides push up into the river, making it reverse direction for short periods. Libya's coast is the only place where the Sahara touches the sea. The Sahara is the largest hot desert, but it mostly lies inland. However, in Libya, the desert stretches right up to the Mediterranean coast, creating a unique landscape of sand meeting sea. The world's oldest lake is in Russia. Lake Baikal in Russia is the oldest lake on Earth, estimated to be around 25 million years old. Not only that, but it's also the deepest and holds 20% of the planet's freshwater supply. The Ural Mountains separate Europe and Asia. People often forget that Europe and Asia are part of the same landmass called Eurasia. The Ural Mountains in Russia serve as a natural boundary, dividing the 2 continents. Singapore is a city, country, and island, all in one. Talk about multitasking. Singapore is the only island that is both a city and a country simultaneously. It is 710 square kilometers in size and home to about 5.7 million people. Singapore is the second most densely populated country in the world, after Monaco. Dubai has man-made islands. In Dubai, they don't just wait for geography to happen, they create it. Dubai is home to the Palm Islands and the World Islands, entirely artificial islands built in the shape of a palm tree and a map of the world. The Maldives could disappear in our lifetime. Due to rising sea levels, the Maldives, a stunning island nation in the Indian Ocean, is at risk of disappearing. Maldives is one of the world's lowest lying countries with an average elevation of 1.5 meters, which is 4 feet 11 inches above sea level. Its highest natural point is only about 8 feet above sea level. I'm even shocked to know that. Egypt isn't just desert. While it's known for the Sahara, Egypt has a much more varied geography. The country's Nile Delta is lush and green, creating fertile farmland in stark contrast to the desert landscape. Bermuda is not part of the Caribbean. Despite being known for the Bermuda Triangle and its tropical vibes, Bermuda isn't in the Caribbean. It's actually located in the North Atlantic, far from any Caribbean islands. San Marino is the world's oldest republic. San Marino, a small country within Italy, claims to be the world's oldest republic, founded in 301 AD. It's managed to maintain its independence for over 1,700 years. You can stand in 24 time zones on Russian soil. Russia covers 11 time zones officially, but with daylight saving time changes and geographic quirks, standing on Russian soil means you're within reach of 24 different time zones around the world. Monaco is smaller than Central Park. Monaco, the glamorous city-state on the French Riviera, is tiny. So tiny, in fact, that you could fit all of Monaco inside New York's Central Park and still have space left over. Argentina and the UK are over 7,800 miles apart, yet they share an island. The Falkland Islands lie off Argentina's coast, but they're a British overseas territory. This geographical oddity has sparked political tensions between the two nations for decades. Liechtenstein has no military. Tiny Liechtenstein, nestled between Switzerland and Austria, has no military at all. It relies on Switzerland for its defense and hasn't had an army since 1868. And there's Switzerland, which has a long history of peace and stability and is considered one of the most peaceful countries in the world. Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt. Yes, you heard that right. Sudan actually has more pyramids than Egypt, roughly 200 of them, built by the Kingdom of Kush. They may not be as famous, but they're just as fascinating. France has the most time zones. With all its overseas territories, France technically has more time zones than any other country, 13 in total, from mainland France to islands in the Pacific, Indian and Atlantic Oceans. Alaska is so big it has its own weather systems. Alaska's size and varied geography mean it has several climate zones, from polar to oceanic to continental. Parts of Alaska can be freezing while others are mild and rainy, all at the same time. Lesotho is entirely surrounded by South Africa. Lesotho is one of only 3 countries entirely surrounded by one other country. The other 2 are San Marino and Vatican City, both surrounded by Italy. It's like a country within a country. There's a sea with no shores. The Sargasso Sea, located in the Atlantic Ocean, has no land boundaries. It's defined by ocean currents instead, creating a sea of floating seaweed and clear blue water. Italy has more UNESCO World Heritage Sites than China. Italy, a relatively small country, has a surprising number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Despite its size, it has more cultural and natural landmarks. Africa's largest city is in Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria, is the largest city in Africa, with a population that's booming every year. It's the continent's cultural and financial powerhouse, known for its vibrant energy. The Philippines was named after King Philip II of Spain. The Spanish named it Las Islas Filipinas, and the name stuck even after the Philippines gained independence. How many of these facts surprised you? Let me know in the comments below. If you learned something new today, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and of course, subscribe to join our journey around the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.